All right, folks. Mark here. Y'all know how I do. I cook the books and bring the info. So I want to talk about how to detox your astral body, right? How to detoxify, purge, cleanse, have a cathartic event for your unseen body, if I could say that. Uh, I want you guys, if you got anybody under the sound of my voice, anybody who watches this video, I want you guys, when you finish watching this video, check out Cymatics, Cymatics, Cymatic. Check out Cymatic. I'm gonna talk a little bit about it right now, but I want you to check it out on your own. Uh, it has been found, right, that sound, music, uh, essentially sound, every sound has its own what's called a frequency. And it has been found, scientifically proven. This is not like opinionated or a hypothesis or any kind of stochastic speculation. This is not a guess. It's been found that frequencies uh, automatically creates resonance or resonates with other multiples or other elements that are of the same frequency. They've proven this time and time again. One of the most common experiments is with the tuning fork, where a tuning fork is struck and other tuning forks that are within proximity or at a distance that are on the same pitch or tone of that original producing tuning fork that produces the sound actually begins to vibrate, and that is called frequency matching. So the pinging, by pinging, when you ping one tuning fork in a room of other tuning forks, if there's a tuning fork in that room that matches the frequency of the original sound producing tuning fork, it will immediately begin to vibrate on its own as well. And so the science behind that is that it's called the harmonic principle. And what that states is that whenever there's a sound produced, there's a frequency, because within sound, essentially, there's frequency. Uh, and if there are other multiples that are nearby or at a distance that are of the same frequency, those other multiples or elements will begin to resonate. There will be a resonating effect on those other elements. So you ping one tuning fork, if there are other tuning forks that match that frequency, it will begin to vibrate and create sound. It's called resonance. So that's the harmonic principle. Well, what we've learned based off this and years and years and generations of research is that we human beings, that's why you need to, again, after this, if you watch this video, check out and study cymatics. We human beings, we react to frequencies. Einstein said, it's a quote, he says, what I've learned is that I am both my brain is a transmitter and a receiver. You can also look that up. Again, it's a quote by Einstein. My brain is a transmitter, meaning I transmit information, and a receiver, I receive information. Uh, and that is a profound, simple, but yet very profound quote, should you really delve deep and search what's really the extrapolation, like what's really being drawn from that. But we're not going to go into the depth of that. You can do that on your own time. But I say all that to say this: when a particularly speaking, Schumann's resonance. I forgot the science. I think it was a scientist or a physicist, a German physicist. His last name is Schumann. I forgot his first name. I read about him a while ago. And he did a experiment, research, etc., and found out the Earth's heartbeat. That's what it's called. The heartbeat of the Earth is 8 hertz per 8 hertz, right? The Earth heartbeat, which is the resonance, its resonance is 8 cycles per second, which is hertz. Right. So the Schumann's resonance is 8 hertz, which means 8 beats per second, 8 cycles per second, excuse me, 8 cycles per second. And this is what's called Schumann's resonance, which is the Earth's natural resonance. The Earth has what's called a natural resonance. Okay. If you look at the 8 hertz and you look at what's called scales in music and notes, if you were to take the starting from 8 hertz, if you moved up on a music scale and you count up 5 octaves, each octave I believe is eight, yeah, 8 notes, right? If you count up 5 octaves, you arrive at what's the note would be A 432 hertz, right? 432 hertz. I'm correct. You would arrive at 432 hertz. So what they found is that the note on the musical scale that equals 432 hertz. Again, moving up 5 octaves, counting from 8 as the starting point. 432 hertz is Schumann's resonance. And if you reverse engineer that from 432 hertz and count down 5 octaves, you'll arrive at the Earth's heartbeat, which is Schumann's resonance, 8 cycles per second or 8 hertz. And what they have found is that 432 hertz is a tone or a pitch or a frequency that, again, it corresponds with the Earth's natural resonance. And because you and I are products of nature, right? We are the children of Mother Earth, uh, according to so much science and history and so on and so forth, that in order for us to be at what's called equilibrium or dynamic equilibrium, uh, for us to function optimally, balanced, the brain secretes certain chemicals, mainly and specifically in this context, in the context of the conversation, serotonin, which is a chemical that allows us to feel whole, complete. It is a chemical that actually prevents depression, prevents low mood or lethargic feelings of drained and laziness. So this is the chemical that allows you to just be to be your optimal self, right? This is serotonin. Why do I bring that up? Is because 432 hertz, which is Schumann's resonance on the musical scale, if you play that sound, 432 hertz, again, you gotta study, you gotta look at cymatics. All right, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about it real quick. If you listen to 432 hertz on a daily basis, if you take time, uh, an hour a day, 45 minutes, a half hour, you know, I can't. You guys know your schedule. But if you do set aside some time to play 400, and it's easy. You gotta just go. You're on your computer all the time. If you have a device, a phone, or whatever, you YouTube 432 hertz, and if you want to read about it, you can research about it and play that. And what that does, let me give you some specifics. 432 hertz, because it is Schumann's resonance, which is the natural resonance of the earth, and you and I are products of the earth in terms of natural and nature and organic creatures. What this does is your brain have what's called your brain fluctuates in 4 states throughout the whole day. Some of us are in it's 4 states that we fluctuate in. Some of us are in one state more than the other. I might be more theta, you might be more delta, she might be more alpha, he might be more alpha. Uh, so it's data, delta, it's data, theta, excuse me, it's delta, theta, beta, no, alpha and beta in that order. So these are the 4 states that brain waves. You can do an EEG. Doctors can do EEGs, electroencephalography. You'll see which state you're in. But we all fluctuate in these states throughout the day. We don't stay in one state. We might reside within a certain range predominantly, but we fluctuate throughout these different states throughout the day. So 432 hertz, what they found, because it's Schumann's resonance, it's the natural resonance of the earth. And again, we are products of Mother Earth. From the dust we came. It's biblical, folks. Uh, what what 432 hertz does is it connects with, it's called brainwave entrainment. What 432 hertz does, it actually, because it is a natural resonance of the earth and it is all things flow, all things balanced, all things equal, it trains your brain waves. It is called brainwave entrainment. So your brainwave will naturally begin to follow 432 hertz. What that does, it puts you uh, in a state of overall wholeness and wellness. It prevents insomnia. It prevents anxiety. It prevents depression. It prevents all kinds of psychological illnesses that a lot of us are going to doctors to get SSRI selectors reuptake inhibitors, right? This is the medicine they give you, uh, when you're suffering from depression and all of this stuff, right? Or sedatives or whatever. So 432 hertz, Mozart, yeah, Mozart, Beethoven, masterminds of music, musical composers, they knew of 432 hertz. That's why they wrote predominantly, they wrote their music in that tone or in that pitch. That's the pitch they use. 432 hertz. You can research this stuff. Research it. I would not dare get on here and say stuff that I'm not uh, well aware of or well, credible. I would not speak these things if I didn't have credible evidence and data to back them up, because then I make a fool of myself, right? So you guys can research this stuff, but they understand Mozart and Beethoven and all these great musical composers. They understood the benefits of 432 hertz, and this is why they composed their music in 432 hertz. There's conspiracy theories out there that they changed it to 440. Nazi Germany, Goebbels, I believe that was his name, something Goebbels, which was like one of the leaders in the Nazi Germany. They changed it to 440 because 440 is disharmonious and it's inorganic, and it does not uh, foster the balance and and us being our optimal selves. It actually fosters the opposite. It fosters lethargic, right? It makes you lethargic, means lazy, sluggishness, and depressed, and therefore you're more tractable. You're docile, and you're easier to control. And this is conspiracy theories out there that in Nazi Germany they actually changed it, and this was used to control people. So again, I've read this stuff. I don't know how true it is, but the 432 hertz, I do, I've done extensive research to find out that that is a very, what would you say, empirical, there's empirical evidence that supports what I'm purporting. Uh, Now I'm about to wrap it up and finish with what is cymatics. Again, you guys can go check this out. It's really cool. Cymatics is pretty much frequencies, like we talked about, sounds. They have figured out how to use. They show you how sound. They take salt or sand and they put sand on a flat surface, right? A whole bunch of sand spread out just randomly. Just throw it randomly on a flat surface, and then they have what a speaker, and then you have a amplifier, a volume, and they would amplify the sound. They will turn the sound up and increase the frequency. And the higher the frequency got, the sand begins to take on shape. And if you increase the more they increase the frequency, you'll see the sand take on the shape of that frequency. And the shape is the higher the frequency, the shape is more refined, it's more complex, it's intricate, it's detailed, it's beautiful. Right? These shapes are it's geometrical shapes, right? It's like you can create stars, you can create all different kinds of geometry by increasing the frequency on the speaker and right next to the sand. And it's called cymatics. So you guys check that out. It's pretty cool. But what that shows you, the broader picture, the bigger pictures, you have to imagine this. When you look at the grains of sand, you have to think fifth dimensional, right? Or outside of three dimensional. And you have to say to yourself, the sand is representative of you and I. If you and I right now were able to get into a spaceship and we went way above the earth, that's all we would be. If you and I went way above the earth, looked down on earth, that's all you would see. all human beings are just particles of sand. You understand what I'm saying? So when you see, when if you guys check out Cymatics and you see the experiment, imagine the sand being human beings. And every frequency that they change, you'll see how the sand reacts to the frequency. And that's a way to show you that we all are controlled to some extent, governed, and we are dictated to or by these frequencies, whether it's your Wi-Fi. Our brains are constantly being bombarded with Wi-Fi, cell phones, computers. These are all frequencies. Television, the main, what's called the mainframe, right? Mainframe, which is just the entire system of computers, right? So we're constantly being bombarded with these various frequencies, and this is why people are depressed all the time. This is why people are committing suicide. This is why people are just everybody's walking around just like losing it, right? Because of the various frequencies, especially if you're in the city. If you work in a city and you're in the city a lot, there's a tremendous, that's the hub of the mainframe. There's a tremendous amount of technology. So you're going to be constantly bombarded with various frequencies. And as Einstein said, I am a receiver and a transmitter. So you're constantly receiving these different frequencies coming at you from various different angles. So this is why it's so important that you take some time to set aside and tune in. It's called your brain is already calibrated, right? By, like I just said, the mainframe, which is the framework, right? Your brain is already calibrated. We need to recalibrate. Take some time to recalibrate, fine tune, align, and attune yourself to Mother Earth, Schumann's resonance, 432 hertz. And also, what it does is it releases negative energy, right? I just told you your brain is constantly being knocked around by various frequencies. So a lot of those frequencies are create what's called thought forms. They latch onto you primarily around your stomach area. So what 432 hertz does as well, it pushes out a lot of the negative energy that you might have stored and in your chakras. It's called blockages, right? So now you can actually create more flow of positive energy. So 432 hertz, guys, go look it up, check it out, do some research on it yourself. And if you like this video, you know what to do. Leave a comment, hit a like, share, whatever. Peace.